Together.
Hello and welcome to Two Old Timers Spout Off. Today is April the 1st, April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day, and we are here.
And it's Terry Cook's birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Terry.
birthday, Terry. And we
Rest in
are
peace.
retired, so we're going to be doing this more, and we just hope you guys, at least 2 or 3 of you guys, listen.
Yeah, we're going to try to do this more often.
Yeah, we're working on maybe 10, 15, 20 guys listening. Girls, too. Girls can listen. Yeah.
And today is April the 1st, 2023. Yeah.
2023.
Yeah. Are you Fred or are you Ethel?
I'm Fred today.
Okay, I'm going to be Ethel. And I've been clean for a long time, 39 years, and he's been clean 41. So let's move on. We're going to do Tradition 2.
Tradition 2 today.
Trad 2 for our friend Jay.
J in the universe of NA.
Yeah. He asked for this. Not his initial is J, not his name. So.
No.
Tradition 2, is that the one about money? No.
No,
the one about
no, that's
God.
Yeah, it's about God. Tradition 3 is about no. Tradition 4 is about money.
5, 7 is about money.
7, one of those. See, this is what happens when you start spouting off. You don't know shit.
You don't know shit.
This is how you know that you've been in the program too long. Is you go to meetings, people listen to what you say and say, "Don't worry about what he said. It's not important."
Right. How can you be clean too long? Does that mean we need to not be? I don't like
No.
that idea. I don't like that idea.
No, I think that means that we just lose our brains.
Okay. 2 is wait a minute, I can't see it. For our group purpose, there's the one ultimate authority, a loving God, as He may express Himself in our group's conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants; they do not govern. And for our group purpose, a loving He express Himself in our group unconscious. Burp. So Tradition 2 is about who's in charge. It's letting me know that it ain't me, and that sometimes my ideas are good and sometimes they're not. It helps me to work with other people and causes me to get along with them. And sometimes what's best, it's that old Star Trek thing, what's best for the few may not be best for the many, and what's best for the many may not be best for the few or the one, you know.
Yeah, I like Star Trek.
That Spock thing.
That's Spock. Mm-hmm.
So.
That's when he was sitting there dying from radiation.
Yep.
All right.
This book has no cover.
Well,
it broke, dude.
It's been through hell.
Let me bring up my questions about 2. So
we have questions?
Remember the question guide? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got statements.
We got questions.
And statements.
Two old timer fairies.
Did we already decide we were going to do this one and then we made something up on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
The questions are the 52 questions that I have on my website.
Oh, about the tradition.
This is tradition.
We could still talk about other stuff, right?
Okay.
I mean, if I wanted to, I could mention tradition 3.
Come on. Load.
I like that you have questions. Then I don't have to pull it all out of my ass.
Oh, here's one. How does the HP we found when we began working step 2 relate to tradition 2?
Well, I have one thing to say for me.
Okay.
There is but one ultimate authority, a loving God. That's how it changed for me.
Okay.
Because I have never had a loving God.
I've
never had an ultimate authority. I've always been my ultimate authority. And God and I don't get along real well because God is much self-centered than I am and doesn't do the things that I want God to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was mine. Now, I have some things to say about the group conscious when you're done with that.
What is group conscious and how can it be measured with a yardstick?
That's way too hard of a question.
Well, that's what it says. Okay,
Did you
let's
write
take
these?
I'll
do this one. I can do this one.
What is group conscious? Let's just start there.
All right. Group conscious is when we as a group make a decision to make decisions that are best for the whole of the group and not just ourselves.
Okay, say that again. Don't say it different, just say it. Exactly the same. Don't fuck it up.
God damn.
I'm fucking with you.
I believe that a group conscious is, as we get together as a group, we know that we're going to fuck shit up and that we have to stay clean because our options are limited.
Right.
And so we have to know how to get along with other people.
Right.
And we're not very good at it. So the group consensus gives us the idea of learning how to be a human, to be part of a group and not just part of us.
Right.
God's never done what I wanted God to do. Oh, God's always, God is, yeah. And it's also, for me, this had something to do with the fact that I used to think that whatever God there was or wasn't, that God was doing things to me and not for me.
Right.
So that helps me out a lot. Also, too, I have a rule, and it's a really good rule. I call it the, what was her name? God, I wish I could remember her name. There's this crazy woman that used to go to meetings, and she carried a gun, and her and I didn't get along very well.
You've talked about her before. It's in one of our other episodes.
Okay, I want to talk about it again, or should I?
Sure.
Well, she decided that her T-shirt was better than my T-shirt.
Oh, the T-shirt story.
Yeah, and I didn't like it because I had an 8-color T-shirt, and nobody ever has an 8-color T-shirt. It's ridiculous to have an 8-color T-shirt, right? So they voted on it, and I complained about it, and then they voted on it again, and then being the good old-timer I was at the time, I complained about it again, and then I finally explained to everybody how you can't have an 8-color T-shirt. It will not sell, and it was the best-selling T-shirt we ever had.
Yep.
And that's what this is about. This is about because I think I know what's best. I am not a group person. And I first thought that traditions protected me. I thought the traditions were designed to protect the group from me. And then after working traditions, I finally came to me or realized or got it that the traditions were actually to protect the group from me, from the group, because I will fuck up a group in a heartbeat.
They do both. Okay, so a group conscious is when you come together and make a decision that's best for the group. This says, how can it be measured? Hell, I don't know.
Well, I think now that we got group consensus, it can be measured in different ways.
Right.
The group, the meeting that we're working with right now, it's 100%.
Right.
Right, and we're only making decisions about the group in particular, not rent, not only thing we make decisions for the group is for the meeting is for the meeting. So that means that anything else is an outside issue, which means it's easier to deal with outside issues when they're outside issues.
Right.
You know, like if your rent went up $50, can I afford to pay? Yeah. So that's I really, since we started doing group consensus. And I helped write a group consensus a lot longer than I want to tell anybody. And that was one of the arguments about group consensus was nobody thought 55 or 65 or 2/3 should be a group consensus. It should be half. And we fought really hard to make sure that it wasn't half because we're not half of people. We're a group, and we need, if we're all going to get along together, we have to figure out how to decide to make decisions together and learn how to adult.
Right.
Because adulting is not my strong suit.
Next question, is group conscience always right?
No.
Group will is something that I've heard people talk about, how if it's group...
I think group conscious is the idea that it is okay for us to make mistakes and to change.
Right.
That no, it's not always right, but I've gone to meetings where the old-timers would tell me, I'd say, that's bullshit, that's stupid, why would we do that? And they'd say, you got to allow the group to make mistakes. The group can't grow if it doesn't make mistakes. Right. You know?
And I just thought of times because, and we talked about this in a couple of the other episodes, traditions are not just meant for group. Well, a group can be a Narcotics Anonymous group, but it can also be two friends, a marriage, you know, that's a group of two.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm practicing, and I've thought of times when me and my wife were agreement on a consensus, and it turned out not to be the best thing for us, and we had to learn from that lesson. So is group conscience always right? No.
And you also had...
Even if it's led by a higher power.
Right.
You know, sometimes we just get it wrong.
And you also had to learn that that the traditions apply to the group. It took me a long time to figure that out too.
But a group can be anything.
Anything. It can be anything. And that's what this is all about, is I want to learn how to get along with a group. So how am I going to get along with a group if I'm always arguing and trying to get my way,
Right.
or trying to figure out,
Right.
I know what's best.
The next question is, what is a trusted servant? How do they serve, and whom do they serve? And I heard a speaker say one time, our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. But do not kid yourself, they are still leaders. And there's something called a de facto leader, which is the one that everybody looks to. Usually it's the one sitting in the chair. If you remember when you were new, at least I did, whoever was leading the group, I thought they were the teacher.
Yeah, me too.
It was kind of like this is a class, and the person up front was in charge, and they knew more about it than anybody, but that's not how this works.
No, it works with experience.
So there are things in my group where, I do the leading, and then there are times in my group when I let others do the leading. And trusted servants, they do not govern. It's about service.
Mm-hmm.
It's about service and being of service to the group, whether that be my NA group or my relationship with my wife or my friends.
And it might be about, it could again also be about ego,
I don't have an ego. I had mine surgically removed.
It could be about, I think I'm right. Also, too, I think that protects us from bullying.
Yeah.
Okay, because the one thing most of us are good at in the program is being a bully.
Right.
And most of us are pretty good at being smart and knowing everything. So we want to make sure everything's run right. And if it's not run right, we know what's going to happen. God's going to fuck this up, and then we're not going to have anywhere to go.
Right.
Right.
Which is a scary thought.
Well, but it's a true thought, right? See, I think that's one of the things that we're really lucky with the traditions, is that they were thought out enough by Mr. Wilson that they had enough problems with trying to figure out the 12 traditions that they were able to come up with the idea of the group consensus. And I think the first one that they came up, the first time that this came up was when Bill Wilson was offered a job to make lots and lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't making, him and Lois, they weren't making any money.
Right.
And the people there, whoever was there, I wasn't there. Maybe EBT was there, but I wasn't there.
Right.
And they said, Bill, this isn't yours.
Yeah, you can't do
You
that.
can't do that. This is not you. No, we have to serve everybody.
Right.
So
Okay.
So this part is working out pretty good. I pulled some stuff out of my ass. Look, we got 15 minutes. Son of a bitch.